The film opens with 12-year-old Abigail, Alicia Weir, doing ballet. 3 criminals watch her. 3 others, a hacker, sharpshooter, and getaway driver, wait for orders outside. After Abigail finishes, the 3 inside kidnap her and put her in the van. Before reaching a residence, they sneak through the streets. Lambert, Giancarlo Esposito, the group's leader, assigns them code names: Joey, Melissa Barrera, Frank, Dan Stevens, Sammy, Catherine Newton, Dean, Angus Cloud, Peter, Kevin Durand, and Rickles, Will Catlett. Hold Abigail for a $50 million ransom from her wealthy father and split it $7 million apiece after 24 hours. Lambert takes their phones and tells them not to show Abigail their faces before leaving. The crooks drink and play. Frank, Peter, and Sammy wager Joey money that she can't read them, but Joey correctly predicts that Frank is a former cop, Peter is a Quebec mafia enforcer, and Sammy is rich and commits crimes for fun. Joey checks on Abigail later and bonds with her. Abigail calls her kid Justin because Joey won't utter his name. Before Joey leaves, Abigail apologizes for what will happen. Dean fails to seduce Sammy. An unidentified attacker drags him away in the basement. Sammy investigates Dean's scream and finds his head falling off. The others panic when they find the dead. Abigail sees Frank's face when he unintentionally enters her room. She is threatened with a gun and asked about her father. Frank is alarmed when Abigail says it's Christophe Lazar, a prominent underworld criminal. Frank was working an operation against Lazar that killed 4 of his co-workers, whom they believed was Lazar's hitman, Valdez. Joey and Rickles secretly debate the likelihood that Frank is Valdez and is alone trying to take out the group for ransom. Rickles is killed by the same attacker while trying to escape the mansion. Frank suggests Peter kill Abigail, but Joey intervenes. Abigail reveals herself as a centuries-old vampire. She was always Valdez, in her room. She attacks the group, but they escape. Security locks them in when they try to leave the estate. The group then attempts to handle this vampire. Garlic cloves, crosses, silver bullets, and stakes are their staples. They surprise Abigail, who is dancing with Dean's body. Frank shoots Abigail in the head, but she recovers fast. Abigail stabs Peter with his cross necklace. After failing to utilize garlic, Sammy is bitten by Abigail and falls into a pool of her victims' bodies. Joey uses the tranquilizer they used to capture Abigail to defeat her. They imprison her. Frank threatens Abigail when she wakes up, but she reads each person and discloses their genuine names. Jessica, aka Sammy, stole from her parents before fleeing. Peter is Terrence, and she mentions his mafia past as a dumb thug. Adam was Abigail's father's employee before she killed them and left Frank their disfigured bodies. Finally, Abigail and her father learned about Joey, who is Anna Lucia, a former army medic whose morphine addiction prompted her to mistakenly nick an artery of a prominent criminal figure, which cost Joey custody of her son. All the others were Lazar's targets and Lambert fed Abigail. Joey thinks Abigail is doing this for her father's love, but Abigail says Lazar never loved her and that she likes playing with her food. Abigail escapes her cage and chokes Frank, who is watching her. Abigail is hurt by Joey breaking open the boarded windows to expose her to sunlight. The group divides up to escape, but Sammy's vampirism takes over and Abigail puppeteers her. She kills Peter and leeches his blood. Joey reflects sunlight into Sammy, causing her to explode into bloody chunks before she can attack Joey and Frank. Joey and Frank encounter Lambert in a control room while trying to disarm the mansion's security. He admits to being a vampire and bringing the criminals to Abigail to be fed, saying there was no money. Lambert promises to transform Frank into a vampire so they can kill Lazar and Abigail. Frank accepts and gets bitten, then stakes Lambert and blasts him up. Frank pursues Joey and Abigail to take over Lazar's empire. Abigail fights Frank, who drinks her blood and becomes stronger. Joey fights Frank's attempts to transform her after he bites her. Abigail informs Joey that murdering the vampire that bit her will liberate her, so they overpower Frank and stab him, causing him to burst and cure Joey. After nightfall, Joey prepares to go until she sees Lazar, Matthew Good. He informs Joey he has numerous names, you can probably guess his most famous. He intends to kill Joey but Abigail tells Lazar Joey saved her from Frank. Abigail knows her son is Caleb, so Lazar and Abigail let Joey live and pursue him. Joey drives a van to find Caleb.